Welcome back to Birds of a Feather. This is your daily Baltimore sports podcast. My name is Nathan Stroud, and today we're going to be going over the Orioles and Giants game one of this four-game series. That game just ended about 2 minutes ago, and it was a pretty wacky game. Pretty crazy game. Very high-scoring game. It was a shootout for sure, but the Giants did end up winning this game 15-8 over the Orioles. And this one was frustrating. This one was very, very frustrating. But again, so has a lot of other games this year for the Orioles. They've all been frustrating, it seems like. But the Orioles lose this game 8-15. The pitching was horrible for the Orioles today. A big part of that was Dean Kramer. He did get the start today. He was horrible in his start today. By far the worst start of Dean Kramer's season, and probably also one of the worst starts of his career. It was a horrible game by Dean Kramer and the bullpen. It just wasn't good all around. We gave up 15 runs, and anytime you give up 15 runs, that is never a good thing, obviously, for the pitching. There was really no highlight from the pitching side of things, but the offense, on the other hand, they went out there and did play well. They went out there and did score 8 runs. And most of the time in baseball, when you score 8 runs, you have a pretty good chance of winning. But unfortunately, when it comes to the Baltimore Orioles and the Baltimore Orioles pitching staff, as of August 30th, 2025, it just means that 8 runs isn't enough. 8 runs is not enough. And unfortunately, the Orioles do lose this game. But the offense played very well. Ryan Mountcastle played very well. Kobe Mayo had a solo home run in this game. Jeremiah Jackson played well. Gunnar Henderson played good as well. Just overall, it was a very solid game by the Orioles offense, but unfortunately, it just was not enough to go and get the win. And as I've said now for the past 5 games, because this is now the 5th game that the Orioles have lost in a row, and they've also lost 7 of their last 8 games, just like I've said a lot recently, it just wasn't enough to get the win. In the last series against the Red Sox, where we got swept all 4 games, we lost 3 of them by 1 run, and it just wasn't enough. And then today, the offense goes out there and scores 8 runs, but we give up 15 runs, and again, the offense just wasn't enough. So that's starting to become the motto here recently for the end of August the end of August Baltimore Orioles. But yeah, let's just get right into this game. So going over the game, obviously the Orioles lose this game 8-15 to the San Francisco Giants. First thing first that I'm going to say about the Giants, Oracle Park is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. That's all I'm going to say. This game was on Apple TV+. The broadcast, the production wasn't necessarily the greatest thing in the world. Apple TV+, a lot of fans don't really like it for very good reasons. But I will say Oracle Park in San Francisco is beautiful. McCovey K, everything. It is a beautiful, beautiful sight with the water and the guys in the kayaks in the water catching the balls over in McCovey Cove. It really is a great experience, at least from a fan's perspective, watching on TV in San Francisco. But overall, again, the Orioles lose this game 8-15 to the Giants. And going over the offense, because the offense really went out there and did its thing today. 10 total hits for this offense. Kobe Mayo had a solo home run, but 10 total hits, went 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position, which is a lot better than what they've done recently. And they left 5 guys on base. So for most of the time, they did well with runners in scoring position. They could have done a little bit better, but still that wouldn't have impacted the outcome of this game because, again, we gave up 15 runs. And it doesn't really matter what you do on offense. It's going to be extremely difficult to match that. But Jackson Holliday, in this game, he went 2 for 4 with a run scored and a walk, so he got on base 3 times. That's good to see from Jackson Holliday. That is now back-to-back games with 2 hits, so that's really good to see from him. Obviously, he was in a little bit of a slump, so it's really nice to see Jackson doing well here in these past couple of games, and hopefully he can keep that up throughout the final month of the season in September. Jeremiah Jackson just continues to play very well. He goes 1 for 4 in this game, but he scores 2 runs. He gets a walk, but he does strike out 3 times. The 3 strikeouts obviously isn't great, but he does increase his hitting streak to 9 games now. He also scores 2 runs for the Orioles in this game as well. Gunnar Henderson goes 1 for 4 with a run scored. Ryan Mountcastle in this game was 100% player of the game overall in this game for the Orioles. Ryan Mountcastle played amazing, and he's been playing amazing ever since he's came back from the IL. He went 3 for 5 today with 4 RBIs and a run scored. A 3-hit day for Ryan Mountcastle. He drove in 4 of the 8 Orioles runs in this game. So Ryan Mountcastle did a lot of the heavy lifting on offense today, so shout out to him. Emmanuel Rivera went 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs in this game. Colton Cowser went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Kobe Mayo went 1 for 4 with a solo home run. Nice to see Mayo hitting a home run. It's been quite a while since he's hit his last home run, so and he's also been struggling quite a bit here recently, but it was really nice to see Mayo go out there today, get a solo home run, and hopefully he can keep more of that up throughout the final month of the season. Dylan Beavers went 0 for 3 in this game, and then Austin Jackson went 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored and a walk. Now, from all the names that I just heard, there might be one name that is missing, and that is Samuel Basallo. Obviously, Basallo, youngest player in the Orioles, youngest player in baseball, 8-year extension, all that stuff, very exciting. He's had, I think 35 total at-bats this season, a 200 average, 5 RBIs, doesn't have a home run yet, has shown flashes of greatness here in the little amount of games that he's played, but that is now back-to-back games where Samuel Basallo does not play for the Orioles, and does not start for the Orioles, and that is very, a little just odd, and I wouldn't even say concerning, because it has nothing to do with concern, just Tony Mansolino's reasoning for certain things is just kind of dumb, but hopefully, we see Basallo in tomorrow's game against the Giants. I literally have no idea why we wouldn't see him. Austin Jackson is now caught 2 days in a row, and even if it is from like a catcher's perspective of him not playing, first base is open, NDH is open, and obviously catching is open. So just don't really understand why we're sitting him for back-to-back games. Dylan Beavers has pretty much played every single game he's played in. He's been great. Obviously today and the last game he didn't do amazing, but today he goes 0 for 3, which isn't good, but overall still with a 300 average on the season, a 432 on base percentage, and a 500 slug. So Dylan Beavers has been excellent. Jeremiah Jackson has been excellent, and Samuel Basallo, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's been excellent, but he's shown a lot of flashes of greatness. Obviously he's a super young player. He has so much time to just improve and prove that he's going to be one of the best pure hitters on this Orioles team, and I fully trust him in that 100%. So hopefully we see Samuel Basallo tomorrow. Obviously Basallo is kind of like the top name. Him and Beavers are kind of the 2 top names that we're really zoning in on and focusing on as we finish out this season. Obviously along guys like Trevor Rogers and Kyle Bradish for the pitching. But going over to the pitching in this game, it was an absolute mess. The Orioles did only use 4 pitchers in this game, but it kind of was a little bit of a train wreck. And it was also kind of a train wreck for the Giants as well, but it was way more of a train wreck for the Orioles. And going over here, Dean Kramer gets the loss in this game, very deservingly so. He's 9-10 on the season, gets through 3 innings of work, gives up 9 hits, 2 walks, 7 runs, and a 75 pitch count across 3 innings. Gives up 7 runs in 3 innings and 11 total base runners. Just horrible. Just a horrible outing by Dean Kramer. And then Corbin Martin came in, 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 runs, 2 home runs for Corbin Martin that he gave up. Yennier Cano surprisingly came in, and he was the only one to not give up any sort of runs. He got through 1.1 innings, gave up 1 hit, no runs. And Yennier Cano got some traffic. There were some runners on base, but he was able to get out of it. And then Grant Wolfram got through 1.2 innings, gave up 6 hits, no walks, 5 runs, but only 1 of them was earned because of some errors, and then 3 strikeouts. So overall, the pitching was just a disaster in general. Wolfram, Martin, Kramer, just horrible days for those guys. But we move on to tomorrow's game, where the Orioles are going to have Trevor Rogers on the mound. The man, the myth, the legend, the co-ace himself. I don't want to sit here and call him the ace because Kyle Bradish is back on this team, and Bradish had that, that title for, not necessarily last year, but the years before last year he had that title. And obviously we know Kyle Bradish has ace potential, but so does Trevor Rogers. So that's why we're going to kind of refer to them as co-aces heading into 2026, unless we go out and get someone like a Framber Valdez. But Trevor Rogers is pitching tomorrow. Obviously, the most exciting starting pitcher probably for the Orioles this season. I know Kyle Bradish is back. He's only pitched in one game, though, and obviously it was very exciting to see. Obviously, we love Kyle Bradish to death, but with what Trevor Rogers has been doing this year, it's nothing short of incredible, and it is literally historic what Trevor Rogers has been doing this year. And we have a chance to go watch him pitch again tomorrow against a Giants team that just scored 15 runs. The Giants have also won 6 in a row, so Trevor Rogers is facing a buzzsaw of a team right now in the Giants. And let's see if he can cool them off a little bit. Let's see if Trevor Rogers can go out there and just do his thing. And it's super weird with Trevor Rogers starts kind of going into it because, like, when you go into a Trevor Rogers start at this point, you're kind of just used to him giving up, like, 1 run max at this point. And even 1 run would literally, like, lower his ERA. So, but Trevor Rogers, as we know, a 1.4 ERA across 83 innings. Like, insane, absolutely insane work from Trevor Rogers, and I just hope and pray that he's able to keep this up tomorrow. Maybe we'll get a nice little 6 innings no runs, 7 innings no runs, or something like that tomorrow. Obviously that's a lot to ask for, but Trevor Rogers has shown that he can deliver in those situations, and I hope he can just go out there and continue to do his thing, continue to play well. Tomorrow will be his 14th start of the season. So I'm just hoping that he can go out there and just continue to prove everybody wrong, including myself, to be honest with you, and also just continue to play amazing. Obviously, him and Kyle Bradish, as of right now, are the 2 aces and co-aces of this team. And then, obviously, we'll see what happens this offseason with starting pitching. There's possible, rumors that we might go after a guy like Framber Valdez or Ranger Suarez, and then obviously we got to revamp the bullpen, which includes going out and grabbing one of the premier closers. So it's going to be a very busy offseason for the Orioles, but as of right now, Rogers and Bradish as your co-aces heading into 2026, I am completely fine with that. But that's going to be all for this episode of Birds of a Feather. I know this episode is a little bit shorter than usual, but it is pretty late. It is at 12:41 right now here, so it is pretty late right now. And yeah, obviously this game went on pretty late. This game was at 9:15. It started at 9:15, 10:15 in Baltimore. And because it was in San Francisco, obviously time zones and everything like that. So, again, I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Make sure to click the link in the bio and make sure to click the link in the bio and make sure to go out and follow the Instagram, follow the Twitter. If you like this content, again, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channels, follow up on Spotify, like the video on YouTube as well. Make sure to click the link in the bio for the Twitter and the Instagram, as I just said. On Twitter, I'm posting live updates, live reactions to all the games, all the news, everything like that. And yeah, again, I will say this was a very very disappointing loss for the Baltimore Orioles in this game, but I will say that in good news regarding the Baltimore Ravens, this is the last weekend without Ravens football, so that is obviously extremely exciting. The Ravens first game is a week from today, pretty much, against the Buffalo Bills on Sunday Night Football in Buffalo. A very big vengeance game, and all throughout this upcoming week, starting on Monday, we are going to be discussing a lot of Ravens stuff, kind of keys to the game, things to look forward to this season on a whole, a season preview, all that stuff. We'll be covering all of that this week, leading into week 1. Or leading into game 1 for the Ravens on Sunday. It's a very exciting time. Obviously, you have the last month of the season for the Baltimore Orioles, but you also have the start of the season for the Baltimore Ravens. It's an exciting time here at Birds of a Feather, and you do not want to miss some of the stuff that is coming up. So, again, I appreciate you guys so much for watching and tuning in and making it this far. And, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great Steelers Day. Go O's, go Ravens, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.